Comet, communities of Maspeth and Elmhurst together, and the Juniper Park Civic Association here today to rally in favor of a park at this site behind us, which used to be the site of St. Saviour's Church. This battle started to get a park here back in 2006. So we've been fighting this now for 5 years. And unfortunately, instead of a beautiful green space, we have a garbage dump behind us, which is very unfair to the people who live here. And we're hoping that the city realizes that Maspeth needs more open space. They've said that they do understand that, and they have been in negotiations with the owner of this site to purchase it to construct a park here. There are a lot of children in this area, there are a lot of older people in this area, and there are a lot of people who just like to do things like breathe. We need trees. We had almost 200 trees on this site, which are gone. We used to stand here at this very site to do these rallies, and we were in the shade, but now it's wide open. Now, a little sun isn't so bad, but I think shade is much better. Shade cools down the neighborhood, provides habitat for different kinds of creatures. This really was a small ecosystem, and we'd really like to bring that back. So what I'm going to do now is turn this over to Council Member Elizabeth Crowley, who represents this area, who has been fighting very hard with us to get this site designated as a park. She, along with Borough President Helen Marshall, have allocated $3.5 million toward this effort, and she's still fighting alongside us. So I am going to introduce her right now. Councilmember Elizabeth Crowley.
But in her leadership position with the Queensborough President's Office. And I have to thank Helen Marshall, who's not here, but Helen is focused with us and has been with us to make this park, to make the site a park. And Christina mentioned $3.5 million, but the reality is, with this budget upcoming, we could have the $5 million in place that the city is willing to spend. And that's not a worry to me. So I feel that we've come a long way, right? It's not a worry that we're not going to have that $5 million. We've come a long way since I've taken office and since I've started working on this project with various other elected officials. And there's still a ways to go. But I tell you today that I feel more optimistic than I've ever felt about this location. And our state senators, Tony Avella here, but Joe Adabo has been involved steadily, and even the office of State Senator Mike Chinaris. And we also have council representatives. I know that Joe Crowley wants to make sure that this becomes a park just as much as everybody here wants this site to become a park. And you also have Congresswoman Nydia Velasquez working hard on it. So now we are at a point where the city is willing to pay $5 million for the site. Maspeth development is being set. They're saying, no, we have too much money invested in the site. We're not going to sell it to you. We want $7 million. That's what it's worth. The fact of the matter is, I believe the city did its estimate of the cost value. They were right at $5 million. The seller wants to sell it at $7 million. How are we going to get that difference? Well, first of all, here today, we need to put the pressure on Maspeth development. We've done enough harm to our community. Christina mentioned you've chopped down over 200 trees. Kids, children, families used to play when there was a church here, 2006 and earlier, before Maspeth development acquired this property. Now, how are we going to get that in between? That money that the seller wants. Well, the seller should be realistic about the value of the land. If he's not going to be realistic, then we have to look at other means. We can get foundations, like New York Parks Foundation, to pay the difference. And we know today, as part of the mitigation of Newtown Creek Alliance, that we are on a list. We're not on their primary list, but we're on their secondary list for $1.2 million. If we say to them today, New York Parks Foundation, the people of the communities of Maspeth and the surrounding areas need a park here. We gather today because we want a park here. We should get that $1.2 million. Now, only I believe with that money that we can really negotiate with the seller. And I do believe that can happen. But we have to make sure that New York Parks Foundation or any other mitigation organization that is a non-profit can come in here and they can make up the difference. How are we going to do that? Well, our state representatives can help, because that's actually state money that went into the New York Parks Foundation. And that money will take and make sure the people of Maspeth don't have enough green space. For a very, very long time have been burdened by too much truck traffic and all the congestion and all the negativity that comes with pollution. It's only right that this becomes a park. We need to put the pressure on New York Parks Foundation, and we need to put the pressure on Maspeth development, because we need and we want for this site to be our park. Thank you.